Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. I'm gonna give you an update on Solana. Solana has broken out on the weekly time frame. A global resistance has fallen, but at the same time on the daily time frame we are seeing a breakdown. We're gonna have to look that very closely, look at 3 news, look at liquidation levels and overall progress towards the upside. I'm also going to compare the current performance with some similarities of 2021 and 2022, and let's see if we can confirm or discard whether we're gonna get the same outcome. Guys, if you like this type of content, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell to get notified every time I put out one of these videos. And yes, there's still 28 days to join my trading competition. All you have to do is use the top link in the description. It's hosted by 2bit, a non-KYC exchange. There's 3 million in prize pool and different rewards as well, including an iPhone 16 Pro, Nintendo Switch, and all of that. Don't forget to do it as quick as possible because there's also an early bird reward that we can get as well as a team. So on one side, we had the global breakout on Solana that was confirmed last Sunday, 7 days ago, we could say. This one is still pointing up in the area of the 58. And the reason I am worried about this breakout, the things that make me think, watch out with the breakout, is because of the similarities of this bull market relative to this. We get these two tops with a lower high in here around March 2022. This one is in August 2021. It's not very similar in terms of seasonality. The timing is different, but the pattern is very similar. We get also some bearish divergences going on as we come down in the channel lower. And if we connect the second peak, we can see that it produced a breakout in this area of March 2022. This after multiple times coming down and down and down, and then we get this breakout and then we put a lower low. So we need to see the elephant in the room. Are we in a situation similar to that when we focus on this new channel? And I will say, although there are similarities, there's also things that are very different. For example, before the breakout in here, we have a lower low right before pinching that resistance. In here, we built a little bit of a better structure with a higher low prior to that, and we initially had a move up with higher low, so that is a better structure looking on the weekly. This is also the second week that we are defending the breakout. In here we spent just the week of the breakout and then lower lows straight away with rejection, and that happened in 2022 in March. So I already mentioned the timing. That equivalent to this cycle will be something like March in 2026, around this area in here, which is almost 200 days in the future. So it is kind of a mixed bag. It's not the perfect situation to be, neither is an absolute no. We are going into bear market straight away. Looking at the price action for the equivalent situation as well, you can see how you break down in here in the past cycle and then you come just as a dead cat bounce. That's why, guys, I put so much emphasis on identifying is what we are doing in here to discard or confirm is if it is also a dead cat bounce. We do not want to be trapped in a situation like this, because from here into the bear market, probably there is a 95%, 92% down from the dead cat bounce, not even from the top of the market. So definitely devastating. FTX, of course, help a lot with that. We are in a different market. Sure, calm down the emotions. We broke down in here and now we are rallying underneath the lost support. And that's why I give a lot of attention to this fall from the top into the bottom to see if we can manage to get into the golden pocket. That is one way of reducing the likelihood that this is gonna act like a dead cat bounce to go straight into prices of $20. No one wants that. And we have managed to enter that, and now we are approaching it again. Let's see if we can put a candle close inside the golden pocket. That will be fantastic. But at the moment, as we have the breakout on the weekly, we are concurrently getting a breakdown on the daily. You can see it in here. We reach an area of RSI of 82, which is all very overextended. It's a higher high relative to 77, which is great. But there is a very strong rejection with 2 days of red engulfing candles. We took decent liquidity. We left some on the table around the 210. And what we now need to do is to see if we can get a revenge rally into the resistance. We are most likely already in a channel down. So if we get this move up in here, that's definitely gonna take all the liquidity that we have in this area. Very likely to get into 210, 215 if we get that revenge rally. Less likely that is a straight into 250, I will say, just purely judging by how much liquidity we have in that area. There is a depression very sharply declining. Looking at the situation in the order book, not in the order book, in on-chain data as well, we can see that we have a red flag coming in. This could be just in the daily time frame, so don't freak out. This doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to stay in the afternoon. It might come and go. But at the moment, the spot taker CBD is highly dominant in the selling side. And since it's spot, that means that they are offloading the actual coin. It's not just profit taking from futures or open interest. In futures, we got big whale orders, so big guys are actually trading at the moment. When it comes to news, we have 2 bullish news, 8 and 7 out of 10. The top one is the SEC fast tracks spot Solana ETF filings with July deadline. I wonder if the expectation that that gets approved makes people offload Solana to later buy it back through the ETF. That could be the case. It has been the case with Ethereum and Bitcoin. A compressed timetable suggests approval could come months sooner than expected, opening the door to large US brokerage flows into Solana. And the 7 out of 10 is 59 million whale adds 365k Solana in 3 months, stakes entire hold. Heavy on-chain accumulation and staking by an institutional scale wallet signals long-term conviction and reduces circulating supply. We got a 4 out of 10. That's bearish. Of course, long-term holders on unload as Sol fails to hold $200. Rising liveliness shows seasoned wallets selling into strength combined with shrinking new address growth. This caps upside near term. We are already seeing the effects of that with a daily breakdown. Now what we need is this daily breakdown to really not fully spoil the party. And just to give you some perspective, this breakout in here was magnificent, right? So we move pretty much 90% up in just a few days, within a month. And from that high, we put a double top and we came back 33%. That was thanks to also a daily breakdown, right? We get in here a daily breakdown with what we could say that this was some sort of revenge rally. The revenge rally, this RSI that reaches 63, way less than 77, right? This move up is a higher price than the price that you achieve at the actual top of the RSI. That is a bearish divergence. That is a revenge rally, okay? If we get something of that proportion and move up into the yellow resistance that we just lost, that could propel the price to do something similar, a bearish divergence and a grab of the liquidity. Don't take it for granted, but it happens more often than not. If we did a 33% from here, just to see how low is that, not necessarily we're gonna get there. Past performance is just past performance, but 33% from there is around $138, just so you know. Now, the big liquidity, of course, is 121. That's where we have the peak of the liquidity on the lower end, but that means a downside of 41%, and that also means breaking the daily structure because we will put a new lower low in here, which that together with the lower high on the daily is definitely not the scenario we want to be. That could increase the chances that the weekly is really gonna fake out and come back. If it does that and we fake out in here, we really need to defend this 47 for a continuation up. And Solana might do a fake out in here and come back there if Bitcoin has a bearish August, which we are about to start, or a bearish September, either way. Very shorter term liquidity we have here at 174 and at 144, and I think I'm gonna leave it in here just so that the video you can still consume it in less than 10 minutes. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.